Hi, Mel from Binwarehouse. In this video, we're going to show you how to assemble a Binwarehouse 12-tote storage system. The only tools needed will be a powered Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, so we have everything unpackaged, and we did identify our 8 horizontal crossbars, our 4 center verticals, our 2 left, right, rear corner verticals, our left corner vertical for the front, our right corner vertical for the front, our 4 wall mount wall flanges, our 4 wall mount extension tubes, and our 12 horizontal slide rails. So the first thing we're going to assemble, we're going to do the grid for the front of the unit. We're going to start with a center vertical. The center vertical is identified as a number 2 and has easily with the hole that's right through. Okay, you have a longer piece up here, shorter piece at the bottom. So we're going to start by inserting the horizontal crossbar, again, which is a number 1. Now, if you notice on the horizontal crossbar, there's these small alignment dimples. These alignment dimples are when the tubes get inserted, that's where the tube will stop. Okay, so we're going to start with the, vertical center, and we're going to use a number 1 horizontal crossbar, and we always want the alignment dimple to be on the bottom. So we're going to start by inserting this through the tube until it stops at the alignment dimple. Again, we want to make sure that the alignment dimples are on the bottom and everything is facing the same direction. And next, we're going to turn this up on its side, take another center vertical, aligning it with the unit. Pressing this down so it stops against the alignment dimples. Okay, next we're going to put the right front and left front vertical corner, which we have easily identified because of the label on them. So the holes we see facing here are going to face away from you. These are the holes that are going to have the slide rails in. So this now we know is the left front, which just goes on easily. Make sure it's firmly pressed in place. And then we have which would be the right front vertical. And again, that's our grid work for the front of our Binwarehouse 12-tote model. I'm going to place this against the wall. The holes facing out. These are the holes that are going to take the horizontal slide rails. I'm going to put this here for later. Next, we're going to assemble, it's the identical piece, which would be the rear of the unit. The rear grid assembled, our front grid assembled. We're going to take the rear grid. I like to place it against the wall. In our instructions, we show it laying on the floor, which can be done either way. Myself, I prefer to put it against the wall. Again, the shorter side is the bottom, so this needs to get flipped around. And again, by standing this against the wall, makes it easier. You don't have to bend over. I can put this against the wall. Basically, that's where this is going to go. And what I'm going to do next is get the 12 horizontal slide rails. And we're going to start inserting the slide rails in each of the 12 walls. Okay, so we're going to start right here. Okay, so we have all our horizontal slide rails in place. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to turn these all up at an angle to make it very easy to put in our fasteners. Okay, so now that they're all in that position, we're going to identify our screws in our fastening tube here. We have the wall mount anchors. We have one bag here clearly marked for the wall mount mounted screws, another bag here for the fastener screws, and then we have a total of the number 1 part, which is a 3/4 fastening screw. These screws are going to be used pretty much for everything. So we're going to need 12 of these screws. We're going to take our power screwdriver. We want to make sure that all the horizontal slide rails are fully inserted, and then we're going to start putting our fastening screws in, one at a time. Okay, now that we have all our horizontal slide rails attached to our horizontal crossbars, it's time to connect the front grid to the rear grid. And we're going to start by, again, in the instructions I showed us laying down on the floor. I like to do it against the wall. It can be done either way. When you're doing it by yourself, it's a lot easier. I feel this way. What we want to do is turn all the horizontal slide rails down. Position they're going to stay. I'm going to make sure this is tipped out against from the wall. We're going to start on the bottom first here by inserting the horizontal slide rails, one at a time. Okay, now that we have the front grid attached to the rear grid, next we're going to install the 4 wall mount connecting tubes, the final piece. And we're going to pull this away from the wall. These will get inserted fully through the rear vertical, corner vertical, right into the front corner vertical. These are the tubes that are going to connect it to the wall. Next, we need to screw the front side of our grid, the horizontal slide rails into the horizontal crossbar. Now again, rather than working upside down here, I find it very easy just to flip the unit around on its side, or it could go upside down, however you like. And next we're going to put in 12 more fastening screws. Starting, and very important that make sure that the slide rails again are fully inserted before you put any fasteners in. Okay, now that we have all our fasteners in, mounting our horizontal slide rails to our horizontal crossbars, we're going to flip the unit back in its position it goes in. Again, this is the short side, bottom, longer side of the tube is the top. We're going to flip the unit around, put it in place. And our next step will be our fasteners fastening our horizontal crossbars to our vertical tubes. Okay, we have our center verticals and our corner verticals. Very important that all of the verticals are tight to our, if you remember at the beginning, our alignment dimples. Very important that everything is tight to the alignment dimples. And now these tubes are fully inserted. You push this against the wall, making sure that everything is tight. Next, we're going to put in 12 again of our of the shorter screws, which are the 3/4 number 8 fastening screws. We're going to start right here. All right, our next step is going to be, we're going to repeat the same exact thing for the rear side now. Okay, so our next step, we're going to show how to mount the wall mount extension tubes to the rear corner vertical and front corner vertical. So naturally, this is going the other way. We're going to spin this around once again. We're going to get our ace fastening screws, which are clearly marked number 8 1.5" wall mount extension tube fasteners. We're going to take these 8 screws. We want to make sure that this is in place against the wall. And that everything again is fully inserted and everything looks nice and square. We're going to put these screws right from here. And we're going to do this in all 4 locations here and on the other side, the other 4 locations. Okay, so now that the unit is totally assembled, our next step is to mount it to the wall. So we're going to put this unit against this wall over here. And what we're going to use is our 4 wall mount flanges. And a real easy way to do this is just to lightly put the flanges in place. Don't press them on all the way. Okay? And just start them on there in the position they're going to be in. Put the unit in place against the wall where it's going to stay. That's where I want it. We're going to take a pencil and we're going to mark all the locations of all the holes here. This is where we want it. Make sure it's nice and square and it's sitting exactly where you want it. Holding it firmly in place, we're going to mark all our holes on the wall. Okay, now that we have all our holes marked, we can take the unit again, take from the wall, take our flanges here. We're going to, depending on what we're mounting to, if we're mounting to a masonry wall, drywall, plywood, whatever it may be, that comes with 12 mounting screws and it comes with plastic wall mount anchors. So what you would do, the holes we just marked, you want to drill a 1/4 inch hole, hammer in the plastic shield for drywall, and then screw the wall mount flange in. Once the wall mount flange is mounted and screwed to the wall, whether it's on masonry, wood, drywall, whatever the surface may be, once the flange is mounted, then you'll take your unit, slide it in place, right where it's going to go, plug them into the wall mount flange, and then in each of the wall mount flanges there's a hole. There should be 4 screws left, and just screw and mount this to the wall and it will be sturdy. It will hold up to 1,200 pounds, easily 100 pounds per tote. Here we have our own Binwarehouse Storage Tote, which works great with this system, 32 gallon, and this happens to be a 32 gallon Sterilite tote. Many tote manufacturers work well with our system. And there you have it. Thank you.